Hello, welcome to Uncle Al's Barbecue. Today I'm going to be making chicken wings. And what I'm going to season them with is your traditional salt, pepper, garlic and onion powder, some killer hogs on half of them. And I'm going to make those into hot wings on my Pit Boss grill. The other half I'm going to make into Korean barbecue wings. And I'm telling you, this stuff is delicious. So I did like I normally do. I washed my chicken in cold water. I dumped some salt and water in there, got it clean, and I let it marinate with one chopped up lemon for about 45 minutes to an hour. I'll rinse them off, pat them dry, spray them with a little bit of that oil on it to make that skin crispy, and then I'll season them up. And I'll show you what they look like after they're done marinating. The brine is done, and the wingettes and the drumettes have been patted down. And what I mean by that is you make sure that they're pretty much dry and use a paper towel. Now, in case you didn't know, this is a wingette. It has the two bones in it. And this is a drumette, basically a drumstick with one bone on it. Now, if you look at these drumettes here, some of the big dogs on here will look at this and, condemn it. But I paid for these wings. I'm not in a competition, so I'm going to eat them. Now, if I was going to be in a competition, let me see, I'd probably grab this one. If I was going to be in a competition, I'd grab this one, but I would trim that edge off and pull this over and maybe trim up a little bit here with a knife and all that. Because, the competition is basically a one-bite wonder. You heard of the music industry, a one-hit wonder? Well, the barbecue cook-off is like a one-bite wonder. If you make that one bite right, and those judges like it, you in the game. So let me go ahead and season these up, and I'll show you what they look like when they're done. But let me explain this to you. When you season them up, you could put them in a big bag and measure everything out and all that. I cook by feel. So what you will want to do when you season them up is just start out with your salt, and then do your pepper, and then you do your garlic, then do your onion, and then, some killer hogs or whatever else you like to do. All right, then you flip them all over, and then you do your salt, you do your pepper, you do your onion, you do your garlic, and then killer hogs or whatever else you want to do. So that's basically how you season them, just across the top, and then flip them over and repeat the same process. Okay? And you're just layering. And then after that, get that grill rocking and rolling and get to cooking. The wings are all seasoned up. They're all seasoned up. So as you can tell, the red side, that's that killer hogs. And this is just everything without the killer hogs. These will be the Korean. And these will be your standard buffalo wing. So a buffalo wing is basically, you just dip it in hot sauce and then use ranch or blue cheese and bite a piece of celery. Now, you do not have to buy this. You can make your own. And I learned this from some people that were from Buffalo a long time ago. You can just buy stuff like regular hot sauce, and say you use this whole bottle here. You dump it in a bowl, cereal bowl, and you use a half a stick of butter, and you melt the butter like you would on scampi or lobster or anything, right? Half a stick to one bottle of some hot sauce, and then whisk it together, and that's basically your buffalo sauce. Okay, we're out here at the Pit Boss, letting it get going through its smoke cycle. as usual, and let me remind you, if you hadn't watched any of my videos, always burn off your grill, scrape it and clean it with the brush, then get a paper towel and some tongs, dip it in some vegetable oil, and make sure your gratings and your racks are all cleaned off. Then when you're done with that, come over to your Mr. Temperature gauge over here and set it at your temperature. Make sure this number and this number match, and now you're ready to cook. Today I will be cooking at 300 degrees, but I expect the Pit Boss to run at 350 degrees because I'm in Texas and it's hot here. Now, in case some of you are wondering, what do you mean by tongue and a paper towel and oil? Get your paper towel, fold it up, you dip it in a little bit of oil, and then you take it across your grate, and you rub it back and forth on your grate, all the way across, repeat process until the grate looks clean, and the towel is pulling off the excess. Now here's another thing I got to show you. When you start cooking on a pellet grill in the Pit Boss, the temperature will start roaring up there and getting real hot because you just burned it off. So what you have to do is be patient. Okay? It's kind of like waiting on your beautiful wife or girlfriend while they're putting their makeup on. You know, should take 10 minutes, but it takes like an hour. So that's what you got to do. You got to kind of sit here and be patient. You burned it off, so now you know everything's burned off. And when the temperature drops back down to your cooking temperature, no matter what it is, then put your meat or your vegetables or shrimp, fish, whatever you're doing. That's when you put it on there. Do not put it on there if it's too high, because it's going to destroy the burning process. I mean the cooking process. Yeah, that is the burning process right there. Okay, we were at 350 degrees and I got it set at 300, so it's game on. Let's get them wings to cooking so you can see where it's going. I hope I'm getting you hungry. Alrighty, the wings are on the grill. I put them on the top rack because basically you're just baking them and smoking them. I tell you, I just love this Pit Boss. I do. And then you separate them. Now the reason these are on this side and these are on this side is because you don't want to get this seasoning onto this seasoning. And if you want to know a little trick here, load these first, right? And then load these second. That way you don't get this seasoning onto this seasoning because you didn't apply it to it. And then when you go to apply your sauces, you get out Mr. Beer Mug with water and you put your tongue in there. So when you say I got one that's Korean, I got one that's hot wing, and I got one that's garlic or lemon pepper, well, when you move the lemon pepper or garlic, you rinse your tongue. Then you move your buffalo, rinse your tongue. Then you do whatever the other one was, Korean, and rinse your tongue. And yep, you can tell I was cooking and doing some stuff because I cut my finger. Okay, it's been 30 minutes and we've been right on time with the temperature. Everything's looking good. Now look, with these little tenders, or drumettes and wingettes, you need to flip them over in 20 minutes, okay? You just got to. It's not a big piece of meat, they're kind of small. So let's flip them over, set the timer for another 20, and come on back. Woo! Do you hear that? Oh man, if you can smell this, I'm telling you. Alrighty, they're all flipped over. Let's come back in 20 minutes, see what's going on. Ooh, look at that. Man, look at that. I'm telling you. Man, you know, you wish you was here right now with me. Okay, here we are. Sun went down behind them trees, so I had to bump it up. These things are temperamental, so there we are. You just seen that. We're trying to roll at 350. So it's on the gauge. Let's see what we got. Woo! Looking fabulous. All right, we're gonna flip them over one more time. You got your trusty tongs in that water. And let me tell you this, if you've been watching my video, you know why them tongs are in that water? To keep them clean. But have you noticed there's no flies around my cook? That's why. If the fly can't grab nothing to eat, it's not gonna hang around. That's why you keep your tongs in the water. All right, we got them all flipped over. Now this left side I'm doing Korean style. That over there is the ones I put that killer hogs on. Okay, those are gonna be buffalo wings. The reason I put the Korean over here is there's a little bit more char to them. Okay, I've been around it and exposed to it. Heck, I've been over there on the bypass, you understand? But there's a little char to that, but I'm not gonna do the char. But man, you gotta admit, these are looking fabulous. Been on here 40 minutes. Now the sun went down, we run at 320 because I opened it up. So now I had to put it at 350. When the sun is up, I had to run at 300 and it was running at 350. Right? So that's the way it is with these competitions. These guys are so good. Well, I guess, well, maybe I'm that good. To where, you know, when it's high noon and you're cooking, it's going to be hot. And then when the sun goes down or whatever, then it's going to cool down. So it doesn't matter what you have. You always have to adjust it. All right. We're back after 20 minutes. Check them out. Check them out. Check them out. All right. Now, are they done? Nah, I don't think so. I think about 10 more minutes. And then when you do the saucy toss, do the little saucy toss, man, you gotta admit, whoo, look at them things. They're looking fabulous. So that's why you set your timer. Come out of here in another 5 minutes, and now, like I said, the sun went down, and I got it set at 350. And now it's running at 330. Remember earlier in the day, I said at 300, and it'll be 350 degrees. Okay, and it was 410 or something at the beginning of the video. That is why the guys that are awesome at this, they know the temperature always fluctuates. That's just the way it is. Okay, I think it's about time to dip them and sauce them. So let me show you something right here, because these other people aren't going to show you. I dip my tongue in the water to clean them. When you want to dip your chicken wing, I'm going to do this Korean, and you dip them all in the Korean. Then you clean your tongue in that water, and I'm going to dip all these in buffalo. You don't baste them. You don't baste them. That's a stupid commercial, man. You dip them, and that's why that coating looks like they're shellacked. I told you I would tell the secrets. You dip them in there. Be right back. Let me show you what I mean. See that? You grab your tongue and you dip it in that sauce, and you pull it out and set it on that grating. Now look at that. See that? We are at showtime, baby. Look at them. Huh? You can't get that from basting. You see this thing? Throw that in the trash can. You gotta dip these things. Look at those. And you see that? I dipped them in the Korean. Boom! Boom! Look at them Korean ribs. I told you what's up. Okay, here we are back with the Koreans. Back with the buffalo. That's it, man. That's it. You want them hotter? I'll dip them in there for you. These Korean, man, you don't have to do nothing to them but fight the people off that want to eat them. Well, here we are. The hot wings are finished. Are those looking phenomenal? And then, like I said, to the side, the Korean ribs. Whew. Man, if you could smell the texture and everything out of these is unbelievable. So, there we go. Hot wings on the Pit Boss grill. It's really simple. Wasn't that difficult. A little bit time consuming. But when at the end of the day, I gotta tell you, those wings are phenomenal. And thank you for barbecuing with me today.